Mohandas Gandhi was born on October 2, 1869 at Porbandar in the present-day Indian state of Gujarat. At the time, Porbandar was part of the British Empire. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was the chief minister of Porbandar and other states in western India. His mother, Putlibai, meanwhile, was an extremely religious woman who followed Vaishnavism, a religion influenced by Jainism and centered around non-violence and self-discipline. Gandhi was never particularly smart or remarkable as a child. In fact, even as a teenager, he was timid to the point that he slept with the lights on. At that time, his father was very ill, forcing Gandhi to spend much of his time caring for him. Eventually, in 1885, his father passed away. In 1887, Gandhi started school at the University of Bombay, but he struggled to switch from his native language to English. Gandhi had personally wanted to become a doctor, but his family wanted him to uphold the family's history of holding high office in Gujarat. Thus, his family constantly tried to steer him towards a legal profession. In 1888, at age 18, Gandhi sailed to London to study law at the Inner Temple. In London, Gandhi struggled to adapt to Western culture. When he reached India in 1891, Gandhi discovered that his mother had passed away during his absence. Gandhi struggled in becoming a lawyer, especially since the field had already become crowded. During his first case, Gandhi blanked when cross-examining a witness, leading him to reimburse his client. Soon, Gandhi got a one-year contract to perform legal services in South Africa. Upon arriving in South Africa, Gandhi experienced an enormous amount of discrimination. In a Durban court, a European magistrate requested that Gandhi remove his turban, which he refused to do and left the court. In another instance, a stagecoach driver beat Gandhi when he refused to give up his seat for a European passenger. This served as a turning point for Gandhi, in which he was determined to fight discrimination. In 1984, during the end of his contract, Gandhi formed the Natal Indian Congress. At a farewell party in his honor, Gandhi learned that the Natal Legislative Assembly was planning to pass a bill that would take away Indians' right to vote. Gandhi was convinced to stay in Africa and fight the bill, and while he was unsuccessful in stopping its passing, he drew international attention to the issue. Gandhi's first mass civil disobedience campaign was in 1906, which he called Satyagraha, meaning truth and firmness. This was in response to the Transvaal government's limiting of Indian rights. After many protests in 1913, Gandhi, as well as many others, were imprisoned. Soon, however, the South African government accepted a compromise made by Gandhi and General Smuts. Gandhi left Africa in 1914. In 1915, Gandhi founded an ashram in Ahmedabad open to all castes. He devoted his life to prayer and meditation, and he became known as Mahatma, or Great Soul. Gandhi began another campaign of Satyagraha when the Rowlatt Act was put into place, which would allow authorities to imprison those suspected of sedition without trial. Rather, violence broke out. On April 13, 1919, over 400 people were killed in the massacre of Amritsar when troops fired machine guns at a crowd of unarmed peaceful protesters. Gandhi became a prominent figure in the Home Rule movement. He called for boycotting of government-run schools, paying taxes, and the purchase of British goods. He began using his own spinning wheel to produce khadar, a homespun cloth, and the wheel became a symbol of the movement. Gandhi continued his peaceful movement through leading the Indian National Congress. Gandhi was once again imprisoned in 1922, and when he initially said the movement was over, new restrictions on salt once again sparked a civil disobedience campaign. In 1930, the British Salt Acts placed a tax on salt and made it illegal to collect and sell salt, which had an immense impact on poor parts of India. Gandhi planned a 240-mile walk to the Arabian Sea, where they would collect salt in protest. He departed from Sabarmati on March 12, 1930, and arrived 24 days later at Dandi, where he made salt from evaporating seawater. Nearly 60,000 people, including Gandhi, were arrested for breaking the Salt Acts. After being released from prison in 1931, Gandhi made a deal with Lord Irwin in which the Satyagraha would end, in return for the release of thousands of political prisoners. While this did not rid of the Salt Acts, it was still progress. In 1932, Gandhi was once again imprisoned during a crackdown by Lord Wellington. While in jail, he went on a 6-day fast to protest the segregation of untouchables, whereas they were given a separate set of electorates. The protests forced the proposal to be amended. In 1942, in the midst of World War II, Gandhi launched a Quit India campaign, demanding British withdrawal from India in return for cooperation in the war effort. In August that same year, Gandhi, along with his wife and members of the Indian National Congress, were once again imprisoned. Gandhi was released after 19 months and after his wife had died in his arms. In 1947, the Labour Party took power and negotiations for Indian independence began. With such a division between Hindu India and Muslim Pakistan, a unified India was impossible. India gained independence on August 15, 1947. Violence between Hindus and Muslims continued. On January
Created using Powtoon.